Well, as soon as we get rid of all that wind, the weather could be ideal, Kevin.
It will be ideal in time for the weekend. Low to mid-70s for highs, but I do want to pass along before talking more about the wind of tonight's SkyWarn meeting hosted by the National Weather Service, my good friend John Paul Martin, tonight in Hebron here at 7 o'clock Central Time at the Community Center at 620 Washington Avenue. Meetings go about an hour and a half, and again, no charge, free to attend. Learn all things about severe weather. Today, our severe weather in North Dakota technically is all the wind and all of the reduced visibility. Even our neighbors to the east here in Ramsey County. Look at all that blowing dust. Really stay wide here because we've had peak winds in excess of 50 miles per hour for many of us here. Bismarck at 52. Look at that, 67 mile per hour peak gust today in Garrison near Lake Sakakawea. Even Fargo at 43 mile per hour winds. So it has been affecting the entire state and beyond. Really all of the North Dakota and northern South Dakota region, eastern Montana, our first warm viewing area. Winds as of the past 20 minutes or so still in excess of 50 miles per hour for many of us here. It's going to slowly subside by the time we get to mid-evening. But tomorrow, yeah, a windy day, but not to the extent that we are currently experiencing. Just that very tight pressure gradient between that cyclone in Canada coupled with high pressure over the Intermountain West. Meanwhile, for our temps right now, a little cooler farther north here, upper 60s, still some 70s farther toward the south here. We're dry, not much in the way of any moisture expected for a while. And again, for tomorrow, another round of wind, but not quite like today, but still maybe gusts upwards of 45 miles per hour over northern and far eastern North Dakota. Otherwise, Friday looks really nice here at the end of the work week, no doubt into the weekend. A light west wind, a lot of sunshine, mild temps in the 70s, and that carries over for Saturday and Sunday. Then we'll begin to see some 80s popping up next week. Wind advisories, a couple different kinds here, including a high wind warning where the winds might still be in excess of 60 miles per hour over northern North Dakota along the US 2 corridor. Farther toward the south, even though we might still have winds around 50, 55 here, a wind advisory has been issued for central and southern North Dakota into South Dakota and back to a high wind warning in western South Dakota and southeast Montana. So various wind advisories here next couple of hours. And again, the wind gradually trailing off, but not until after sunset this evening. So expect that blustery northwest wind prevailing. Still breezy overnight, but for tomorrow, once again, after sunrise, becoming windy, but mostly centered over northern and eastern North Dakota. A lot less wind farther toward the west and south here as the wind will gradually be decreasing. So expected wind gusts here for the next few hours to get between 40 and 50, maybe 55 miles per hour into the night, averaging about 25 to 35. So still blustery, that's for sure, but the highest winds tomorrow mainly over the eastern third of the state of North Dakota. Yeah, no doubt about it. It's going to be a windy couple days, but things are looking a lot better by the time we get to the weekend into next week. Temps in the 70s. Look at this. 80s, though, by Tuesday and Wednesday. Could we see the first 90s of the year? Maybe just beyond the next 7 days, but we're heating up here.
Wow, 90s in June, huh?
Yeah, it's a possibility.
All right.
Yeah.